Hello there. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. This is May the 24th, Sunday. I hope you're doing well. So, once again, for those new to the stream, I'll be streaming through Twitch TV. W2JV is my home call. The stream that you see on the screen right now, basically is a picture of the pan adapter of my Flex Radio. You can see and hear signals of others and additional information I'll be showing. So essentially, thank you very much for joining the stream. I really appreciate that very, very much. And I would like to thank our newest follower. That is Kiddin, Kiddin. Thank you, Kiddin, very much for following. We really do appreciate that. Okay, so let's go turn up the audio and see what we can find here on the K2H special event station. Turning up the audio and looking for a frequency. Is the frequency in use? This is special event station Kilo 2 Heroes. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. All radio amateurs, this is special event station Kilo 2 Heroes. Kilo 2 Heroes, a special event station honoring all those warriors fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. This is special event station designated as Suffolk County, Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, one of 62 counties in New York State. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Heroes will be using as our ITU phonetic. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling CQ. All radio amateurs that will be saying thank you to all those on the front lines, and we do dearly appreciate that. CQ calling CQ. All radio amateurs. This is special event station Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. K2H, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. All radio amateurs, this is special event station Kilo 2 Heroes. K2H, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. K2H, stroke SUF listening. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ. This is special event station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey 2, Bravo Zulu, Quebec.
Roger, thank you. Welcome aboard, sir. You're the first one to join us today, Sunday, May the 24th. I'm honored that you're calling us. Thank you so very much. Whiskey 2, Bravo Zulu, Quebec. My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. I'm located in Long Island, New York, about 45 miles from a very quiet, sedate New York City, but hopefully not for long. Please give me your name, your location, and also I would like also any information that you might have that you might say thank you to the people working on the front lines. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, Whiskey 2, Bravo Zulu, Quebec. The Halo Star, Boston over Boston. We're located in Satellite Beach, Florida, which is 60 miles east of Orlando and 30 miles south of Port Canaveral on a barrier island here on the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm sorry I didn't get your handle and I didn't get the last part of your message. So I'm going to turn it back to you, sir. Handle again is Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for making contact with the station. Bob, my call is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. And this is a special event station strictly to honor, to appreciate, to thank all those heroes on the front lines that are working tirelessly in this COVID-19 war. And the purpose of our event today and for the month of May is to say thank you. So any thank yous you'd like to say to anyone at all, in general or specific, we'd appreciate that, Bob. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Peter. I have both two daughters who are RNs who are on the front line during this outbreak of virus. One is down here, Barbara. She's an RN in the hospital, and my other daughter is Patrice up in Raleigh, North Carolina, in the hospital up there. They're both RNs. They're in the operating room. And they're doing a great job keeping well protected and taking care of as many patients as they possibly can. And you've got a great signal, by the way. You're 5'9" here in Satellite Beach. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you so much, Bob, and I really do appreciate the gratitude that we're going to give to both Barbara and Patrice, both nurses that are on the front lines in the operating theater of this COVID-19 war. We know, Bob, as your daughter, you're concerned every single day that things go well with both daughters, and we certainly hope so. We're so grateful now, Bob, that they all have mostly the PPE equipment to keep them safe, and that's very encouraging, very reassuring. But clearly, we know, Bob, this is not something at all that both daughters signed up for, something of this magnitude, but they're doing it every single day, and we certainly hope that their mindset is positive. It's really difficult to get through a day, to go through things that they're not accustomed to and come out of it. And I know that you've been in touch, I'm sure, with them, making sure that their head is in the right place. It's an incredible thing. Bob, thank you so much for that. That's what this event is all about. And you've got a nice signal here about a 5 and 9. Back to you, Bob, for any final comments. And people like you, Bob, really make this effort really worthwhile, because I'm also streaming on Twitch TV, which goes out to the masses and is heard by those folks, many of those folks on the front lines. Bob, really appreciate that. Over to you for a final. W2, Bravo, Zulu, Quebec. This is Special Event Station, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Thank you, Peter. QSL, you got a great signal down here, and thank you very much for doing what you're doing. Yes, I am in contact weekly with nurse orders, making sure that they're well protected, and they are. They love their work. They've been nurses for many years, and this is what they say is their livelihood, and they couldn't ask for a better occupation. And I appreciate all the people who are out on the front lines and what they're doing for us. And what you're doing for them is also great. Can you also tell me what your location is, and I'll turn it back to you for a final. Thank you, sir.
No, Bob, my pleasure. Thank you so very much. You're absolutely right, and there's no question that you're certainly very much attuned to their attitudes to make sure that everything is great. And yes, it's a phenomenal career, a career that many of us who have never been in a hospital really can fully appreciate just how dedicated they are, the smiles on their faces every day going through trials and tribulations. But they've never been in a war, and that's why we're certainly doing this event. I'm located, Bob, in Long Island, New York, 45 miles east of a very quiet, a very sedate New York City. My location specifically is Northport, Bob, and my home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Over to you, Bob.
Thanks, QSL, Peter. I'm also from Long Island, born and raised on Long Island, moved down to Florida many years ago. Last location was Oakdale, Long Island. My son lives in Lindenhurst, and he's an engineer up there. And as I said, what you guys are doing is just fantastic, and we really appreciate it. And I know the frontline people appreciate it also. So again, have a great day. I hope to get many contacts and many people call in to you. Have a wonderful day. God bless you, and best of 73s.
Bob, thank you very much. You know, coming from a dad whose two daughters are on the front lines in the nursing careers is very valuable, because you certainly, the thanks that you're giving is so genuine. Not that anyone doesn't give genuine thanks, but clearly someone like yourself who knows what your daughters are going through and then appreciates what we're doing here to say thank you, appreciate their efforts, because you know, during the hectic day, they're overloaded. We know that, and it's very difficult. Thank yous are in short supply, and we're hoping that we can offer a little bit of solace in that. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, QSL on your location. You know, Oakdale is a very special place for me and my sister and my family. When we were kids in the '60s, and we would go to Oakdale to the Snapper Inn. And we would go crabbing over the little bridge by the Snapper Inn and had a wonderful time with our little crab nets. It was a special time, especially when we grew up in Woodside. That's where we were living, which was like the inner city at the time. And going out to Oakdale was like going out to the real country. And okay, in Lindenhurst, I lived in Massapequa for 19 years with the family. And we had a wonderful 19 years until Hurricane Sandy moved us out. Thanks a lot, Bob. Thank you so much for your heartfelt thanks. We appreciate that, and bless you as well, and bless your daughters, and hopefully we'll get through this very quickly. Things are getting better. Whiskey 2, Bravo, Zulu, Quebec. Kilo 2, Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Over to you for your final, Bob. Thanks so much. What a great first contact. I'm going to put a quadruple star on this one, Bob. Thank you, and have a safe, wonderful day and a very peaceful Memorial Day. Thanks so very much.
QSL, Peter. Thank you. Yes, know where you live. Before Oakdale, it was Farmingdale, Long Island, right close to Massachusetts. And my dad was born in Woodside, Long Island. So we have a lot of fond memories of Long Island. I'm retired from the U.S. Navy after 30 years. Retired as a commander. And enjoyed my 30-year career in the United States Navy. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks again for what you guys are doing. And as I said, God bless you and your family. This is Whiskey 2 Bravo Clear and QRT.
Bob, thank you so much. Once again, this is getting better and better. The U.S. Navy commander, retired. Thank you so much for your tremendous service to our country, making our country what it is. People like you, the giving of your country, making it a career, is a wonderful sacrifice. And may Memorial Day be peaceful as we remember those who have fallen, those who have given us the freedoms that we're enjoying today and that we so often take for granted. And certainly here in the amateur radio service, Bob, and everybody else, we want to give back as much as we can. That's what we're listed as, the service. And this is one of the services that we really do and very much are called to duty. Thanks so much, Bob. 73s. Have a very peaceful Sunday. Bless you and the family. QRZ, and Bob, if you wouldn't mind spotting me, I'd really appreciate that very, very much. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Heroes, a very special event, thanking all those on the front lines, like Patrice, and also like Barbara. Patrice and Barbara, again, thank you so much. Streaming on Twitch TV, hopefully out to the masses. Thanks so much. 73s, Bob. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, at your service. The name is Peter. Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, QRZ.
Kilo 6, Papa.
The Kilo 6 with the Papa, go ahead.
Kilo 6, Papa. Golf, Hotel, Papa, Germany, Honolulu.
Roger that call. Thank you for the repeat. Kilo 6, Papa, Germany Hotel. Thanks a lot. About a 5 in 5, but very copyable. Your name, your location, any comments that you'd like to make on what we're doing here, honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
Roger. The name is Doug Joseph Huss, Uniform Golf. I'm in Fullerton, California, which is about 35 miles southeast of Los Angeles. You're a good 5'7" in California. I think that the first responders are doing a fantastic job. Over.
They certainly are doing a fantastic job, Doug. Thank you very much for making the contact, and that's very well said. They are doing a fantastic job in this war, this COVID-19 war, and clearly we look forward to the number of cases going down. That's for sure. And we do believe the number of cases where people actually have to be admitted to the hospital are going down because people are being more careful. Those that are that do go to the hospitals are usually those that are in jeopardy. Either they're very much overweight, have some form of diabetes, or have some underlying conditions. And they're really, they got the news. They're being careful, and they know that they don't want to put any additional pressure on the system. And clearly, by them being more careful, it allows governors of our states to say that the numbers are going down because they're being more careful, and therefore we thank them very, very much. Thank you so much, sir. 73s to you, Doug. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
November 9, Romeo, Mike, Romeo.
Roger, November 9, Romeo, Mike, Romeo, I believe. Thank you very much. Very good morning to you. Name here is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Your name, your location, any comments you'd like to make. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, very good, Peter. Well, pleasure to meet you guys. And station sounded real good. You're 5'9". Into Jeffersonville, Indiana. We're in southern Indiana, right across from Louisville, Kentucky. Gives you kind of an idea where we're at. But anyway, the special event station is sounding real good. Got great signal in here. And I won't hold it, but hey, thanks for running the station, and thanks for picking me up. Back to you, Peter, in 9RMR.
Roger, thank you so much, Carl. We do appreciate that. You've got about a 5 and 7 signal, so we're very, very copyable. And again, the whole purpose of this event is one purpose only. The only thing that we are really caring about is we're focusing all our attention, not on us, not how well we are, But clearly today and for the rest of the month, we're focusing all our attention on those people on the front lines. And those people on the front lines could be anyone at all that is out there, including people that drive the buses, the trains, people that deliver your mail, the sanitation people, the people that are in tech areas. All those people we're honoring. Thanks a lot, Carl. 73's QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. QRZ.
Kilo Bravo 9,
There's a Kilo Bravo 9 with a Zulu. Go ahead.
There's a Whiskey Bravo 9 Echo Delta Papa.
Dan in Milwaukee.
Echo Delta Pop. Okay, the Kilo Bravo 9, stand by one moment. Whiskey Bravo 9, Echo Delta, your name, location, any comments you'd like to make on what we're doing. Go ahead. Whiskey Bravo 9, Echo Delta. Go ahead.
It's Whiskey Bravo 9 Echo Delta Papa. I didn't know if there was another station under. Very good. It's nice to hear you guys do that. I'm on the front end of this as far as you could go. I'm part of the task force. And we'll be running at 1500 the MarcoNet that touches it. But every Wednesday at frequency of 7222 at 0030 is a special emergency COVID-19 net that I run. I'm part of the task force, infectious disease trauma specialist on my end in Illinois. The handle's Harry, Hotel America, Roger, Yoke. Over.
Roger, Harry. That's fantastic. What you're doing and how are things basically going with the task force? So what are the conditions right now, Harry? Go ahead.
Well, what I can't, there's certain things we can't say. We have a lot of vaccines that are up, if in pharmacy, if you're familiar, there's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 type trials. Basically, that's to follow the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. We're looking promising outputs in that area. I could not emphasize more for anyone that wants to take hydrochloroquine or hydroxychloroquine to talk to their physician. It could be more harm than good. So I would suggest they talk to their physician on that. And we have in our area here close to 400 police officers that have tested positive for COVID. And paramedics, we're nearing almost 100%. So we just had some new recruits. That's in the Chicago metropolitan area. I'm about 40 miles outside of Chicago now, which I'm not complaining about that. So I think this is just my opinion. In doing research, I've done this for, you don't want to know how long. I started out very early with the HIV epidemic and hit every epidemic and pandemic from Ebola on down the road there. I think in some ways we may be people, it's fine to open up, and I understand the economics. I'm not an economic person. I'm a scientist and a surgeon and a physician. But, this concept of people getting too close, and that is weak. I could give you some stuff, but I don't want to waste a lot of your time. But you think of the virus airborne in the proper situation could travel actually 27 feet. So we're keeping it at 6 feet. So, 27 feet would shock probably a lot of people. And on surfaces, what I'll suggest is get concentrated Lysol if you can on hard surfaces. It'll kill the virus in 30 seconds. If you use bleach, don't inject it, of course. 1 to 10. So 1 ounce of bleach to, 10 ounces of water, and that'll kill the virus in 5 minutes. If you use hand washables, the alcohol, which is very important for people to consider, that you keep that moisture on your hand, believe it or not, for 5 minutes before you wipe it off or rinse it off. So those are really very important. Keep in mind also that the masks that you wear are no good after 20 minutes. you have to change and put a new mask on. That's stuff that is not being reported readily, but that's factual stuff. We do that in the ORs all the time. We change masks in 20 minutes. So the name's, again, Harry, Hotel America, Roger, Yoke, and we invite any physician, first-line personnel, pharmacists, ancillary, to participate. I might say on Ham Nation, I did a session with Bob Heil. It's their episode 451, and it's strictly on the COVID virus as it pertains to ham radio operators. So that might be of benefit to pass around. Over.
Wow, Harry. Whiskey Bravo 9, Echo Delta Papa. Echo Delta Papa. Harry, this has been a treasure trove of information, a lot of information that you dispensed, and we really appreciate that, us in the ham radio community, and those also listening on my stream. And Harry, my stream is through Twitch, excuse me, through Twitch TV with my home call sign, Harry, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. So that's going out to the masses. So your information is being listened to by not only amateur radio operators, hopefully in the United States and around the world, if they can hear me, as well as folks on the Twitch TV stream, of which we have quite a few followers. And let me say, what you have said has been very, very valuable, and certainly I hope many, many people took notes. If you want to hear that again, folks, you can go to the Twitch stream after this broadcast, and you can see it, and it's at about the 25-minute mark, and you can listen to the valuable information that Harry's dispensing. Harry started out with, I can only tell you so much about where we are in the vaccine stages, and clearly, from what we've read, the general public, that's clearly very, very, very encouraging, and we feel that certainly we're moving in the right direction in that regard, and hopefully sooner than later. But we can't get too excited about it. As far as the distancing, yes, that is something that makes tremendous sense. And also, I spoke to my cousin yesterday, Harry. She is a physician, and she said to me that when they are in an ICU unit and someone is infected in a specific room, that molecules can be airborne for 1 to 3 hours. And that sounds pretty incredible and hard to believe, but she says we will close that room up for up to 3 hours. So clearly we can be safe. And another statistic that we heard was that when you look at all those folks that are on the front lines in the COVID-19 wards, those people are less infection rate, is a lower infection rate than the general public. So I think, Harry and everybody else, one thing we have to acknowledge, the general public is not doing a good enough job. We're trying to educate them as much as we can, but clearly they still have some sloppy habits, and the quicker they become more aware of it, wear their masks for a short period of time and change them when they have to. If you're not feeling well, do not go into the general public, even with your mask, because that's not 100% sure. We want to reduce the load, certainly on the hospitals, and clearly we'll be able to open things up when those numbers certainly go down. Although those numbers may continue to rise because more testing is being done, and those numbers of people reporting positive will certainly go up. But nevertheless, please, in the general public, pass that word along that clearly we need to be just more aware and more certainly careful about how we go out into the public and what we do. Harry, I can't thank you enough for all that information. Yes, I do recall seeing that broadcast, and it was a superb one. So once again, broadcast 451 on Ham Radio Nation. You must watch that. You must watch what Harry has to say. How often do we have an amateur radio, a scientist, a doctor, a surgeon, a researcher to spend time with us? Harry, I can't thank you enough for what you're doing for us. This certainly is a very, very valuable piece of information. Harry, over to you for any final information, any corrections that you'd like to make on what I've been talking about. Whiskey Bravo 9, Echo Delta Papa, fantastic. Kilo 2 Heroes, Stoke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
I love the call. I definitely want to tell you. It'll be memorable to me. I think a lot of people, are assuming that the people on the task force are deep pockets, but the Public Health Service is treated like the military as part of a branch of that area, and let's just say if people knew what they were getting paid, they'd say, why are they doing this? So you really give, and my object of going in infectious disease was to help the underserved, and what you said was tremendous. A lot of this, unfortunately, are the younger folks, and we were all very young at one time where we felt we were indestructible. This is now where it started out just the older folks with some problems. It's crossed every border you can, from an infant all the way to, we'll just say infinity if they're to go that way. But I can't thank you enough for what you're doing. You know, the little thank yous. Someone left, I get a little touched it. Would you lose people to this? I'm sorry. My emotions get really up. They run at a high accelerated speed, only because I really care. And you remember the ones you lose, not the ones you save. And the one thing the ham community can do, really,
Jay
every
Schiffer.
ham could do
Thank
it,
you
and
so
every
much.
net can do it if they want, is if there's a member of the ham group, a net, and they don't check in for a while, and you're used to chatting with them, even if it's just a coffee clutch in the morning kind of QSO, and you don't hear them for a while, well, pick up the Twisted Pair or call the agency, the fire department or police department in that agency, for them to check on that individual. We have a lot of power as hams. The hams, you know, oftentimes we don't get called to duty, but this is one time the hams could actually save lives. They could be so tremendously powerful in action in checking on their fellow hams that don't check into certain nets, or you lose it. And I apologize. I lost it for. It's always hard. I know I'm wasting your net time, and I don't mean to do that, but I always think of the ones
No, he's
that
not.
are lost, and those stay with people like myself. There's no thank you sometimes when you cover the people in the jails and that. And always, you know, people say, why? Well, eventually they get out. A jail, remember, is for people that are not convicted of a crime. They're waiting for trial. So we have everything from DUIs and so on. So I'm not advocating that. I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. But we have to take care of everybody. And you putting out a net like that is touching. It really touched my heart in a big way. And I'll make sure the Marco net, which is at 1,500, if anybody would like to listen, it's at 14342. That's a general net. So we just do a little update. But Wednesdays, we're more than glad. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be anything, a research scientist or a funny guy like me that's after medicine. I did biophysics and things like that. So I really take this to heart, and I really feel the amateur community is so powerful in this, and so did Bob Heil. I can't thank him enough. He reached out to me and a fellow from the Mayo Clinic. It was a pleasure and an honor to deal with Bob and Ham Nation, actually, to give a bulk of the show to hams protecting themselves. And I know I wasted a lot of your time, and I'm very sorry for doing that. My emotions sometimes get the better of me. So I guess that would tell you that for all of what some people think, there are medical people and doctors in the world that really care about every patient there is. Every last one is not just a number. It's a human being, and they're all different. And Anyway, I wasted too much of your time. My emotions run very high. I've seen too many needless losses, and I've heard young people that just during the holiday break say, well, if they're going to die, they're going to die. It's their time to have fun. And we can't think that way. And, of course, the hams don't. We have an older population of hams, but we have new guys coming into the field. And remember that if they don't show up on the net, call them up if you can on the landline or call the authorities. And trust me, they will not look down at you at all. This is really in one way of why amateur radio exists, is to help people and service them that way. And I apologize deeply for emotionally getting a little tongue-tied, but I think if you have dealt with it, it's almost 24 hours around the clock since March 15th. Sorry about that. Since March, so it takes up a chunk of my time, of which there is I could honestly tell you, a $0 sign in whatever I do. There is nothing, nor do I seek that. Other than I will treasure your QSL card, and I applaud. You're the first station I've ever heard actually thinking of the first responders that way. I cherish the guys on the front lines that call, the nurses, the pharmacists, everybody that's there. It's a big deal, and we will win. And the one thing, keep in mind, one thing that keeps me from seeing you, obviously, is distance. So distance is important, or a wall, which means stay home. I know it's terrible. It's rough. I'm not an economic person, but I realize I'm under the same constraints as anyone else. I don't get any favoritism. If anything, I get less. So I think that's an important thing to consider. The frontliners are really working, and they really do care about what they're doing. And the areas around New York, New Jersey, and Chicago now is a very hot spot right now. And sometime, if you want, just drop me an email or something, and I'd be happy to talk more about this if it helps anybody. The hams are going to be, believe it or not, some of the big aids in this pandemic. We get the message out. It's not for sensationalism. It's not for newspapers. You got to take all that with a grain of salt. There's no political agendas here. Just saving everybody's life and making them good. And with that, I'll sign with you. And I'm so sorry I took up so much of your time. I really apologize. I lost it. But you see the faces of the people that haven't made it, and that's very, very sad. It has no boundaries, no religious segregation, no anything. It just attacks, and it is a dastardly enemy that we have to deal with. So with that, I'll say the very, very best of 73s. Good health to everybody, and my email's there. I've never turned away. I've spent the half a day answering emails for people. Obviously, I can't diagnose over the radio, but I could give you suggestions or people's suggestions on what they could ask their doctor. And trust me, I'll give you one example in closing. Having everyone tested sounds like a wonderful thing, but I could give you a case of a fellow that was tested. He was given a clean bill of health 48 hours later. He had a very sophisticated test done, and 3 days later he contracted the virus, and on the fourth day he passed away. So the test is only good up to that point in time. After that, anything's fair game, so always keep that in mind. With that, I again apologize for taking so much of your time, and God bless everybody on the the net or people listening, and take care further.
Bob, I'm back to you, Bob. Whiskey Bravo 9, Echo Delta Papa. Harry, just incredible. One thing that I don't want you to do, because what I've said at the very beginning of our special event station, Kilo 2 Heroes, I said clearly this is QSO style. I also, by the way, was honored to have Bob Heil come on the air here, make contact with us twice with his 17-meter loop dipole. But he had a pretty good signal, Harry, and he wanted to say hello, and then he invited me also. I think I was 2 episodes after you. He felt so moved by what we were doing here in New York State, Kilo 2 Heroes, and I think I was episode 453, and he allowed me to speak about what we were doing, and my goodness, that made a major difference, because you know the reach that Bob has, you know the respect that we all have for Bob, and Ham Radio Nation is a phenomenal show. So if anyone has not had the opportunity to be part of Ham Radio Nation audience, please do that. Harry, apologies not necessary whatsoever. This is the purpose, this is the intent of the net. One thing that I've said over and over again is this particular special event station is twofold. One, it is to heartfelt thanks to all those heroes, all those warriors on the front lines, to say our heartfelt thank you. But also each and one of us, we need to vent to one another. We need to express our feelings the way you expressed your feelings. And that certainly is cathartic. It's very critical to do that. And those that don't do that are perhaps some of them that can't cope or having some difficulties. And we as communicators, we certainly honor that, respect that. And that is what this particular special event is also for as well. And I think that was an unintended purpose when we started this, but clearly it became very, very prime for sure. One thing that we do know is that the nurses, the frontline workers, and it could be anyone, it could be someone driving a bus. I spoke to someone in the meat department of my grocery store, and he was having difficulty, never accustomed to wearing a mask all day long, really uncomfortable, and being scared, having tremendous anxiety. And a lot of that's all part of the wartime syndrome of PTSD, and there are a lot of folks, that's going to be certainly something we need to pay attention to. Harry, you struck upon it when you pick up the phone, talk to someone, see how they're doing if they haven't checked in. Absolutely. What I also said is if you know somebody on the front lines that's out there while we're sheltering in place, pick up the phone, call them, and ask them, how you doing? Because clearly a lot of this is kept internal. And when I say internal, the nurses, the doctors, the EMS people, they're not accustomed. They didn't sign on for this kind of event. They can handle it, and they're handling it. But we had an email, Harry, from one nurse that listened to our broadcast through Twitch TV. That nurse said that I felt alone, I felt isolated, I felt it wasn't my place to seek help, and I heard the amateur radio operator saying thank you, just pouring it out, call after call, and I felt that I'm not alone, and I'm actually going to see a therapist because I feel this is perfectly okay in these times. So, Harry, those are the things that we want other amateur radios to do. As you said, we are a service, and absolutely, positively, that emotion is something that's very healthy, and we want that. And yeah, I know a lot of folks have said, well, that person is old, they had pre-existing conditions, but by George, it doesn't matter. Spoke with a nurse, 24 years old, Harry, 24, in the room with a dying patient, with a cell phone next to that person's ear, playing soft music, and also simultaneously talking to the family on the other side of the glass. This 24-year-old has never had that experience before. Can you just imagine the emotions the family and certainly the nurse is going through, because certainly we know, Harry, that they're not allowed in the room. So this is not meant to be a dirge. This is not meant to be a desperate, negative kind of event. This is a positive event. It's a happy event in that we are celebrating and honoring those folks. But at the same time, we need to really make it very, very clear how serious this is, to Harry's points. And everyone out there, be very careful. What you said about the testing, a lot of people, you're absolutely right, a lot of people were so fooled that once they were tested, they were bulletproof. As you said, Harry, very well, not said, not done at all. Harry, this has been, you know, they talk about an event here that's for our books forever, in our files, in the time capsule. Well, I've been on the air since May 1st. This is May 24th. This is the best that I've ever had. It doesn't get better than this, our communication, our conversation, and basically what we're doing, our service as well. And let me say, Harry, I'm one of 62 counties in New York. This is a New York State event put on by the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club. Lou NO2C, November Oscar 2 Charlie, his wife Kilo 2 Romeo Yankee Delta, Mike KC2 SYF, and Karen KD2 GUT. They are the special event team for the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club. And Harry, when they heard these horns honking going in their neighborhood, Lou said, you know what, why don't we do something for amateur radio? So we have quite a few of these 62 counties in New York State saying thank you to all those New York State workers first, and then certainly the country and the world. So this is an event, and there are many stations. A lot of them are on digital. I prefer to hear live people like you and all my contacts here. But they're around, and we have about 43 counties. Yes, a QSL card, or rather a certificate, will be available in about a week or so, Harry, from our special event station, K2H on QRZ.com. And I'd also very much like to send you my own personal QSL card. My home call is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Harry, loved every moment of it. Basically, I wish we could go on and on, but what you've said is phenomenal, and thank you for sharing and pouring out your emotions. This is what this special event is about. Back over to you, Harry, for your final, if you'd like. Whiskey Bravo 9, Echo Delta Papa. Fantastic, thank you. This is Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Roger, I can't thank you enough for the time and the courtesy. It takes a lot for someone like me to lose it. I've been involved in this arena for a long time. It's touched home. It's a lot of our fellow hams have been stricken, and just as you said. And I think what you're doing is beyond the call of duty and as excellent as can be to the hams in what they're recording as first responders, because there are very few to thank yous, and many people don't even have the chance to say thank you. It's a devastating situation. I'm not overplaying it. I'm not trying to be over dramatic. It's sad, especially if a dear one does pass away and you can't be there, and you can't even have a proper service for them. So there's a lot to that, and by all means, you can count on my support for anything you do on Twitch TV. I'd be happy to do it. I don't want any, I'm just happy to do it. Get the message out there. It's not over yet. I wish I could say that, and I know I took a lot of your time, and I appreciate that. And my gosh, everybody just take care of yourselves. The one thing we have as hams, we could talk to each other, and you are right. There will be consequences of PTSD, particularly with some of the younger folks going into medicine. In some states like Illinois, we've used what we call an M1, which is a first-year medical student, and not to degrade them, but they've had no experience of dealing with tremendous tragedies and families and all of that type of stuff. So I thank you again, and I would be honored to exchange cards with you. It would be, I will frame it. I truly will frame it. So with that, sorry, touched the nerve there. I think of a lot of us in our business, we don't get awards. We don't get thank yous. I could count thank yous on my hand sometimes, and in an evening I could see 150 people, and I could count maybe 5. And I don't do it for that. I do it for their families, their children, and everybody there. And all of them, the nurses, everybody is so important. From the man that cleans the floor, all of them, really. These are the heroes. I'm nothing. I'm just a director. Anyway, it just comes up. I can't help it. I've lost some very dear friends that are on this band, and I always wish I was there to. I keep thinking maybe I could have changed something, but there's some things we can't change, and that's life, and it's a sad thing. You're doing a wonderful job. I hope the hands hear you, respond to you, and definitely listen. And by all means, send me an email, or I'll send you an email to your home call. I'll give you my landline if you want. Any way I could help people to prevent catching this in any way and shedding some light on what they're hearing. I've already kind of discounted the news media. I'm not being anti-news, but, there's a little sensationalism that comes across there, and that's not exactly right. And I've had the pleasure of training under Dr. Fauci and Dr. James McCauley, who's the world's most authority on tuberculosis. Luckily, that's not a problem here now. So a lot of papers written, but that's what we do. We want to keep everybody, and you're doing a marvelous job. You have no idea what it means to hear someone say, thank you. That's a really big deal, and I'm sorry for the a little bit. I think of all my lost friends. There's a large number. We've exceeded, obviously, the deaths from Vietnam. Not that there's any comparison in that, other than we've lost some good souls and good human beings. So do the best you can. Work the special events station. It's going to be more than you could possibly imagine. And try to remember the people that you don't hear, that aren't pushing clouds, as I like to say. So God bless, stay safe, everybody, and I can't applaud you enough for what you're doing. It brought a tear to my eye. And any way I could help you or your program, by all means, I will do that. That's one of the best things we could do is have people hear it from the people that are actually fighting it. And it's night and day. It never stops. The phone never stops. The messages never stop. And it's affected our seamen. It's affected military bases, and everything you could imagine has had a dire impact. So I understand the monetary issues are terrible, but, monetary issues can't be put back, but a life will never be put back. 73s, God bless everybody. Stay healthy. Keep that social distancing as best you can, and feel free to email, and I'll be more than glad to participate in anything you're doing. My hat's off to you. It really brought an emotional chord to me. So with that, I will QSY because I have to do the medical med. So 73s, everybody, stay healthy. God bless, and just think of all the guys up there pushing clouds for us hands down here. WB9EDP will QSY. I'm very sorry for the emotional outburst. It just happens sometimes. But I guess we wouldn't be doing what we do if we didn't care. I mean, that's the important part, is what we do. And how many patients' families know what's gone wrong when we just come out and they look at us, they know. And that's it rips your heart out. It really does. There's no way to quantify that. Anyway, all the best. I've taken way too much time. I'm very sorry. WB9EDP will be QSY in the 14342 for Marco. And keep doing this. What you're doing is a great service, a really great service. And it'll be a pleasure. And believe it or not, I didn't write down the special event calls that my XYL got us. And you can imagine how hard it is on the spouses that work with us folks. So 73 is WB9EDP, long-winded, but hopefully think of everybody that's out there. Hams could do an awful lot now, more than they could possibly imagine. WB9EDP, thank you very much. God bless everybody. Thanks for the special event station. And I will QSY up the band a bit for the medical net. Take care, everybody.
Incredible. Whiskey Bravo 9 Echo Delta Papa, special event station. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Folks out there, you heard a hero. That is a genuine, qualified 4-star, 5-star, whatever stars we want to give. Harry in Illinois. You're listening to someone that just is on the front lines every single day, came off the front line and is talking directly to us, directly to amateur radio operators. And he's talking not through any filter through the news media. He's not talking through any type of event that is filtering him. It is live. It is raw. And that's what ham radio is about. You know, we oftentimes don't realize, to the point that Harry made, how important we are in getting our message out there, whatever messages we give. We oftentimes don't realize that we are a service, and we are there also to do whatever we can to comfort and aid those that are not in a fortunate situation. But many of us have done that through hurricanes, through my Hurricane Sandy that I went through. I was a victim, and amateur radio operators were there. They brought a generator to me, the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club, Whiskey 2 Hotel Charlie Bravo, and folks brought generated me and saved my wife and family from having too much water in the wrong places. So clearly, everything Harry has said, that is something that you should certainly go back to the Twitch TV stream and just listen to it over and over again. It's phenomenal stuff. And Harry, I'd be honored if you join as a follower to Twitch TV by going to my special call, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. That's my home call on that. Well, that's what this is all about, folks. It's about really pouring out how you feel, saluting those that are saying thank you. And, you know, here we have someone that is in the heat of battle saying, I know what you're doing is right. It's so wonderful to hear that acknowledgement. We all feel that what we're doing is the right thing. Emotionally, we know that. And clearly getting some letters and emails from folks out there on the front lines are just acknowledging that. So it's incredible. And, the emotion is there, and it's very, very healthy for Harry and other folks to be able to pour that out and not be at all embarrassed that you're doing that, because that's part of a healing process too that needs to get done. Folks, I know this was a little bit different, but this is what this QSO style is about. This is what this special event is about, and I'm proud to be able to do that. Thanks a lot for everybody listening. We're going to continue, and thank you so much, Harry, again, 73s, and God bless you and be well, and I do look forward to having more relationships, more contacts with you as time goes on. And I know both of us will be back on Ham Radio Nation. That Bob Heil wants me to talk about the wrap-up and all the things we've done. And by the way, if you're still listening, Harry, so far we've made in excess of 15,000 contacts, 15,000 thank yous to all those workers on the front line. QRZ, this is, my temperature is going up. This is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Thanks much. I appreciate it, Bob. God bless.
73s, Harry. Thanks a lot for hanging in there. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot's listening.
Kilo Charlie 9, Alpha Romeo Papa.
Roger, thank you very much. Very good morning to you. Kilo Charlie 9, Alpha Romeo Papa. Thank you. The name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo Peter, Long Island, New York, 45 miles east of New York City. So your name, your location, and what did you think of what Harry was talking about? Incredible stuff, isn't it? Over to you, please.
This is Michaeline, Mike India Charlie Hotel Alpha Lima India November Echo. Sorry, I'm in Batavia, Illinois, and I have the privilege of being Harry's XYL. So I know him personally for a very long time, and he is the best of men. Thank you. I don't want to break down either, but I can't tell you, as you can tell yourself, how important this is and how special and important this was to him. So I just wanted to spend a moment to thank you for all of your work and for giving him the opportunity to share his incredible work and his incredible heart. We're in Batavia, as I mentioned. You're at 5 and 9 just for the official report. We do have to run to get to the other net because he is presenting actually today on radiation therapy and chemotherapy for cancer patients. So if anyone's interested, 14.342. The net probably has started, so we do have to run. But Peter, thank you very, very much. 73, best of everything. We will keep in touch. Kilo Charlie 9 Alpha Romeo Papa. Back to you at Kilo 2 Heroes.
Michaeline, thank you. I am so honored. This is really a home run to have the opportunity for you to come on the air as well as Harry. Thank you a million. By the way, for the record, you're 10 over 9, and thanks so much for all the time, and certainly you working with Harry in many, many ways, supporting him, encouraging him, just makes him a better scientist, better doctor, better practitioner, better researcher. Michaeline, thank you. And let me just say, I know you have to go, but I put up your QRZ page. We are cat lovers. We have two guys, two bonded pair. Love the look of your cat. What a beautiful cat there, sitting on the radio studio. Unfortunately, our cats, when they come in, they go around the wires. That's fantastic, Michaeline. Thank you, and appreciate all your time. 73s to you. Be well, and have a very good net. Thanks again for the time, Michaeline. 73s.
Welcome, Peter. 73s to you. Best of everything. Health, and God bless. Take care, and great work. 73s.
Michaeline, thank you so much. I'm honored to hear that coming from you and Harry. Really honored, and certainly it propels me to continue to do this because we know we're doing the right thing. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. All radio amateurs, operators. This is Special Event Station, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Special Event Station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. QRZ.
Kilo Delta 9, Oscar, Victor Foxtrot.
Roger, thank you. Welcome aboard. A very good morning to you. Kilo Delta 9, Oscar, Victor Foxtrot. Thank you so much. Your name, your location, and any comments that you'd like to share with us. Go ahead.
This is Todd in Northwest Indiana. I'd just like to thank all the folks working, especially the doctors and nurses who helped me. I've got several friends doing it, and my hat's really off to them. Over.
Yes, thank you, Tom. You bet. We thank them. And we can't thank them enough, certainly for what they're doing in this war. They're warriors. They're our heroes. And now that we're coming on to Memorial Day, certainly they are someone to also be cherished as the living among us as we celebrate those who have passed and have given their lives for the country. But these folks, many of them also, are also giving their lives for our country. They're true warriors. Thank you so much, Tom. Thanks for the time. Thanks for joining us here on the Special Event Station. My name is Peter, Pop Echo, Tango Echo, Romeo. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, listening for your comments. Over. Yankee Hotel Alpha, give me your call again, please.
Yankee Hotel Alpha, over.
Yes, I have a Kilo, but I missed the middle. Give it to me once again. A little bit of QSB on the signal. Go ahead, sir.
Kilo 1 Alpha 7, Yankee Hotel Alpha.
Roger, there, you came up there. I know the QSB, that's how it is on 20 these days. Kilo Alpha 7, Yankee Hotel Alpha. Thank you so much for repeating your call. Your name, your location, and any comments that you'd like to make on what we've been discussing this morning. Over to you, sir.
Okay, this name is Eric, Echo Romeo India Charlie, and the QTH is South Elgin, Illinois. What is my report code, Gary? What is your call sign? Over.
Roger. The special call, Eric, is Kilo 2 Hotel, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QSL? Eric, I've tuned off frequency. Would you come back again? Let me tune back on frequency. Just give me your call a couple of times so I can tune back on you. Go ahead, Eric.
I appreciate the call from Louisiana, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And
Yep, I kind of lost you, Eric. Let's try again. Kilo Alpha 7 Hotel, Yankee Hotel Alpha. Kilo Alpha 7, Yankee Hotel Alpha. Over.
Yeah, I'm still here. What is this special event? Over.
Roger. Thank you so much for asking, Harry. This special event is a special event that is honoring all the workers from New York State. All 62 counties are involved, at least many of them that we've tried to get involved. It's a special event station honoring all those heroes on the front lines fighting COVID-19. Those people can be certainly, we're talking about, we're honoring the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare workers, basically EMTs, the police, the firemen, the military, all those who provide medical help, including anyone at all, postal workers, those that pick up our trash, the sanitation people, the post people, postmen, post ladies, all of those we're honoring and saying thank you for their tireless efforts in this COVID-19 war, Eric. Go over to you. Yep. Is the frequency in use? This is Kilo 2 Hotel. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. This is Special Event Station, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Kilo 2 Heroes, Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. CQ calling, CQ calling, CQ. All amateur radio operators that would like to say thank you to those folks in the front lines fighting COVID-19. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
November 1, Romeo Bravo Delta, portable.
Roger, I think I have it as November 1, Romeo Bravo Delta. Over to you.
Roger that. Heard you calling out. I'm out doing a POTA activation. Thought I'd give you a shout. Definitely thankful for all the heroes out there. My soon-to-be niece is a nurse in North Carolina.
Wow, thanks so much. Soon-to-be niece. Well, thank you for that. And would you please shout out, give me her first name so I could acknowledge her. And give me your first name as well. Go ahead.
Roger that. My first name is Richard, common spelling.
Roger, thank you, Richard. And what is her name, soon-to-be niece, Richard? Go ahead.
Roger that. Her name is Morgan.
Wonderful. Morgan, I'd like to shout out to you on behalf of all radio amateurs, on behalf of all those stations working the special event station, Kilo 2 Heroes. You're certainly one of the heroes that we're acknowledging for the entire month of May. Richard, thank you for taking the time during your POTA activation. We really appreciate that. Thank you so very much, sir. Over to you for your final, Richard.
Roger that. I appreciate what you're doing. 7-3. Y'all have a great holiday.
Oh, thank you so much. We look forward to honoring all those folks that have given their lives to make us able to do what we're doing. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. My name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, 45 miles east of New York, QRZ. Roger, a little bit distorted on the audio, but I think I picked you up. Kilo 2 Echo Zulu Romeo. Correct me if I'm wrong, and your name and your location. Any comments you'd like to share with us? Go ahead.
Okay, the call is Kilowatt 2 England Zanzibar, and I am Mobile in the car. And you're 5'9" here, and I'm in Brenham, Texas, the home of Bluebell Ice Cream. Nothing really to share here.
Roger, let me make sure I have your call. Kilo 2 Echo Zulu. Is there another letter? Go ahead.
You have my call correct, but it should be Stroke Mobile. Kilowatt 2 Echo Zanzibar Stroke Mobile.
Roger. And is your name Andrea? Go ahead.
Roger.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. I have all that nice. I see a beautiful picture of you on your QRZ page, and I'm not sure what that mountain is. It doesn't look large enough for Mount Rainier, but it looks like it's got snow on it. What mountain is that, Andrea? Go ahead. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's Mount St. Helens, the famous Mount St. Helens. Hey, thanks, Andrea. Thank you so much for the time. Have you as mobile and safe mobiling, and good luck, and thanks a lot for making contact with us. Over to you for a final, Andrea. Go ahead.
Okay, well, have fun there with the special event, and, of course, respect to all
The heroes out there.
Thank you very much. We certainly will. Our hats off, our respect, our acknowledgement to all the heroes out there that are on the front lines every single day. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Charlie 2 Hotel Zulu Whiskey.
Roger, thank you, sir. Kilo Charlie 2 Hotel Zulu Whiskey. Very, very good morning to you. Your name, your location, any comments you'd like to have regarding our salute to the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Peter. I've been trying to track you down as you've been moving around the band. Name here is Rich, Romeo India Charlie Hotel. You're 5 and 8, just north of New York City. And, my wife is a nurse working in a hospital in New York City, so it's been quite a struggle the last couple of months, as you can imagine. We also have quite a few friends that are in the healthcare industry. One of them that I know personally that got the virus early on. Very fortunately, he recovered, and he's back taking care of patients. Had another fellow that we knew that passed away from the virus. So, it's been a rough couple of months. But thank you very much for having your special event station out here today, and good to speak with you.
Rich, thank you so much. Yes, and my apologies for moving around the band. By the way, if you have an opportunity and can spot me, I'd very, very much appreciate that. Yeah, we had other signals coming in that made it really difficult, so we had to move here. Hopefully we'll stay here for a while. Would you please allow me to give a hello, a shout-out, a respect to your wife? Could you give me her first name, please, Rich? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Her first name is Liz.
Thank you, Rich. Liz, I know you're not listening because you're either busy at work or busy doing other important things, but certainly on behalf of all the other amateur radio operators and our special event station, you are one of the heroes that we're saluting. And certainly, New York City certainly was the epicenter for such a long time, and the stress that you've been through is incalculable. And we were talking with Harry earlier, who's right there on the front lines, to give us a little bit of a view inside his world day in and day out. And those that listened, you could see how emotional that was. And he's not the only one that certainly is feeling that way. Unless you've been there, and Rich knows from his wife how exactly that feels. It's incredible. And that's why the least we can do is just salute them and take a moment to really appreciate their work. Rich, thanks so very much. Any final comments you'd like to make? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you for the shout-out to my wife. She actually is at work today. By her own choice to work Memorial Day and the Sunday before. So thanks very much. And I just implore everybody, please wear your masks and please wash your hands. Peter, thanks for having a special event out there today. K2H stroke Uniform Sierra Foxtrot. KC2HZWF.
Thank you, Rich, very much. Good words indeed. Wear your masks, wear your gloves, wash your hands. Let's not add any more numbers to the overload the hospitals have had. For sure. Thanks a lot, Rich. 73s. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, on the air, listening. I'm at your service. My name is Peter. Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. QRZ.
Whiskey 4, Papa India Golf.
2 Echo Victor Charlie.
Roger, got a couple of stations. Very gratified to hear that. Makes me happy. The more thank yous, the happier we are. Whiskey 4, Papa India Golf, I believe. Your name, your location, and any comments you'd like to have saluting our heroes. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, my name's Danny. I'm located in Talladega, Alabama. I'd like to say good morning to everybody on the frequency. I hope you're hearing me okay. And the best thing I can say about our heroes is thank God for them. We need to pray for them, pray for our nation, and
and they're real heroes. I really do appreciate them. I know how it is to be on the line. I'm retired law enforcement. I worked in law enforcement for 35 years, so I know where they're at. And I'm retired now, thank God, and that's how I come up with this call. I got called pig a few times, so I just put in for it. Good morning, it's W4PIG 73.
No, that's funny. It's nice to take something that could be construed, Danny, as a negative and turn it into a positive, and that call is your call for sure. Very, very special. Thank you for your service, 35 years in law enforcement. Yep. You know how it is to be on the front lines. Unfortunately, these nurses, doctors, EMTs, the immediate people on the front lines, and everybody else behind them, they didn't sign on for this. They didn't sign on to be in a war, to be in a battle. Clearly, when you were trained by the academy, you knew what you were getting into for the most part, and then you learned day in and day out. But these poor folks had no idea that they were going to get into a war and be on the front lines and be in a MASH unit day in and day out. So thank you so much for acknowledging, recognizing them, and we look forward to the Talladega 500 again. We look forward to NASCAR getting going because that's certainly one of the distractions that are very important for us. Danny, thanks a lot. 73s. Thanks for making contact with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your acknowledgments. QRZ, the name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Long Island, New York, special event station, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, QRZ.
KB0, RUR.
Roger, thank you. RUR, KB0, RUR. Good morning. Your name, location, and comments that you'd like to share with us. And welcome again, Robert. Thank you so much again. I think this is the fourth time we've reached you here on our special event station. It's very important. Every single time we make a contact, no matter how often, it's a thank you. So anything else you'd like to add, Robert? Thanks a lot for gracing us with your signal. About 10 to 12 over 9, Robert. Over to you, sir.
Well, I'll tell you, that's great because you're coming into St. Louis, Missouri, home of Budweiser, about 5 or 10 over 9. Beautiful signal. Have a great holiday and a good contest. Over.
Roger, thank you so much, Robert. We appreciate that. And yes, that's right, home of Budweiser, and clearly in moderation, but it's certainly something that is important during these times to kind of relax a little bit, and we've got to make sure we do a lot of that. 73s, thank you. It's our pleasure. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Alpha 9, Sugar Radio Oscar.
Sugar Radio Oscar, I believe. Thank you so much. Kilo Alpha 9, Sugar Radio Oscar. Good morning. Your name, location, any comments that you might have. Over to you, sir.
And good morning, sir. Name here is Duff, Delta Uniform, Foxtrot, and I'm in a little town called Minocqua, Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin. Just wanted to let you know you're coming in real good here in northern Wisconsin. Go ahead.
That's right, Roger. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think your name came up as Samuel, but that must be obviously that is the FCC database. I'm looking at your QRZ card and love it. I love it. It says Oneida County, America's Dairyland, and certainly we could use them. Thanks, Duff. Any comments you'd like to make at all on the heroes fighting COVID-19? Over to you, sir.
We're thinking about everybody, and we're doing our best to stay safe up here, and so far so good, and I appreciate everything.
Duff, thanks a lot, and so far so good. Keep up the good work. Clearly, when the numbers are down, certainly people are paying more attention to be safe. Thanks so much, Duff. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, special event station. I think you know what we're doing. We're honoring those heroes, all those heroes, top to bottom, and there's everyone is important. QRZ, K28, Stroke SUF.
Kilo Charlie 9, Yankee Lima.
Roger, nice call. Kilo Charlie 9, Yankee Lima. Kilo Charlie 9, Yankee Lima. Thank you so much. I think we may. No, I'm saying I think. Oh, you've got a beautiful card there. Ann, I think your name is. I think you're in Wisconsin, Ann. And I just love that picture. What a wonderful world as we had a Earthrise on the moon. That is one of the classic pictures of all time. And that's very positive to see that. And we are a wonderful world. And we're not perfect. But Ann, also, that's my mom's name. May she rest in peace. So happy to reach you, Ann, and thank you so much for gracing us by making contact with us. And any comments you'd like to make, certainly on what we've been discussing, would really be appreciated. KC9YL, this is Kilo 2 Hero stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. I'm at the controls. My name is Peter. Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Over to you, Ann.
Thank you, Peter, and you just spoke to one of my friends, Andrea, K2EZ, and she is also participating in the Days of the YL contest. So it's kind of a bittersweet that we're able to enjoy this hobby in spite of all the corona commotion that's going on. But I certainly thank all the frontline workers. I'm doing my best to self-quarantine and not get out hardly at all, and when I do, I wear a mask. So that's the little bit that I can use. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Ann. Very, very good information. We don't want to be another statistic that gets the coronavirus. One thing that we do know that the majority of people, 80 to 90% that contract the virus, the conditions are mild. My sister, my brother-in-law, just to name two people of many that I know that have contracted the virus, they're doing well. They got through it okay, but you never know if you can pass that virus on accidentally to someone who is in a compromised position. And yes, no apologies at all, Ann, for any of us that are enjoying this hobby. What's very important to recognize is during these stressful times, we need to do things that relax us, that put us into another state of mind, that separate us from the real world, if you will. Although amateur radio is real, one thing though for sure, it is a relaxation, and certainly even though we're a service by Part 97, we're also a hobby, and we do enjoy it. So we've got to make sure that we're good to ourselves, and a lot of people out there perhaps are not paying attention to that, and please, by all means, do that. Take care of yourself, and make sure you do things that distract you from what's going on. Don't watch the 10 or 11 o'clock news before you go to bed. Not a good thing to do. Thanks a lot, Ed, and enjoy the net. Very, very much a good thing. For you, for your final, Ann, KC9YL, K2H/SUF. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you, Peter, and I am enjoying the hobby, and I also got the whole inside of my house painted, so 8.5 gallons. So I've been trying to also be kind to myself and trying to keep distracted from the news. So good luck in your special event. You're doing a wonderful job, KC9YL.
There you go, 8.5 gallons. That's quite a house to paint, but you bet. That's something my father always loved to do. He loved to paint. He did it every couple of years. Even when I said, Dad, you don't have to do it. He said, no, I get pleasure and relaxation for it. Quite frankly, the real reason my dad painted was because he enjoyed drinking beer. He enjoyed Budweiser beer, and he would drink the beer and paint. And you know what? We never had a crooked line. He was able to really keep control of it, but he really enjoyed, I think, drinking the beer more than painting. Anyway, and 73s. QRZ. What are we doing here? Special event station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. Kilo 2 Heroes stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QRZ.
Whiskey 2 America Delta X-ray. We're back.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if I got this call mixed up with others. Whiskey 2 America Delta X-ray. Correct me if I'm wrong. Over to you, sir. Name, location, and any comments you have. Over to you.
QSL, first name is Glenn, and formerly from Long Island, and you got the call sign correct. Whiskey 2 America Delta X-ray, W2 American DX, and you got a great signal here into South Carolina. Hello to everybody in the Great South Bay, and formerly from Port Jefferson on the North Shore. W2 ADX with K2H, go ahead.
It's good to speak with a fellow Long Islander. Thank you, Glenn. By the way, love your QSL card. It'll certainly be very appropriate for this very solemn Memorial Day as we celebrate. And celebrate's the wrong word. I should say honor. Honor the, I'm too much involved with the news media where they say that. We're honoring a very solemn time, those troops that have given everything for their country. And I love the flag, and I love the way the call is designed. Yep, Port Jeff, wonderful location. I'm here in Northport. So we would have been neighbors, Glenn. We certainly would have been. And I know you're enjoying yourself in Somerville, South Carolina. Thanks so much. Any final comments you'd like to have on what we're doing here in the special event station, Glenn? Over to you, sir.
Roger. Just say thank you to the folks out there. My sister is a nurse, and she's out there in the school districts with all the vaccines and all kinds of crazy stuff. So they're trying to get the kids ready out on the East End to go back to school. It's going to be a tremendous job. 7-3 to you guys. Thanks for the special event. Whiskey 2 American DX with K2H stroke SUF. Thanks, guys, and 73.
Thanks, Glenn. Before you go, would you please allow me to give a shout-out to your sister? She's doing a noble job. Give me her first name so I could just give a shout-out to all amateur radio operators. Over to you, sir.
That would be Maria.
I love that name. One of my favorite old-time names, Maria. Yep. from West Side Story. What a beautiful, beautiful play. I hope everybody in the world has seen that 100 times. Thanks a lot, 73s. Be well, good health, and our best to Maria. Thank you for what you're doing, Maria. And, yes, it's going to be a challenge opening the schools for sure. 73s to you, sir. Great signal, by the way, 10 to 15 over 9 here, Long Island, New York. QRZ, this is Special Event Station honoring those in the front lines. Kilo 2 Heroes, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Juliet 4, Oscar, Quebec, AG, good morning.
Well, good morning to you. How can I not say good morning? Kilo Juliet 4. The rest of your call, please. Go ahead.
Yes, Kilo Juliet 4, Oscar, Quebec, AG.
Roger, okay. Kilo Juliet 4, Oscar, Quebec. Thank you so much. Your name, your location, any comments you'd like to have. Over to you, sir.
Yes, the name is Wayne, up here in the mountains of Tennessee, up in northeast Tennessee. I just want to give a shout out to you and all those that are participating in this special event. We also love all those that serve and on the front lines. We appreciate it. Kilo Juliet 4, Oscar, Quebec, AG. Thank you, sir.
Roger, thank you. Could you use a couple of letters after your call, Wayne? Well, what are those? Let me understand that. I think it's a couple of initials. Could you help me with that, Wayne? Go ahead.
Yeah, Peter, AG. I just took the general test and just passed my general yesterday at a study center, and this will be our first call out. And, we just thought we'd get on the airways here with the radio and go ahead and utilize it. Back to you, sir.
Well, congratulations. Yes, I don't hear it too often. That's why I quickly was not able to distinguish. Well done. Congratulations for you, and great job on getting your ticket advanced, and may you go as far as you want. And, yeah, I'm glad to be here on the general portion of the band. It's a little busy, a little noisy, but nevertheless, it's important that I want to reach out to all amateur operators. Thank you so much, Wayne, in the mountains of Tennessee. Beautiful location and certainly a little safer than we are here in congested New York. 73s to you, sir. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey 5, Foxtrot, Bravo, Sierra.
Roger, thank you. Whiskey 5, Foxtrot, Bravo, Sierra. Real nice signal into Long Island, New York. The name is Peter. Name, location, any comments you'd like to make. Over to you.
Okay, Peter, the name here is Bill. I'm in Choctaw, Oklahoma, and doing fine, keeping safe. You're all about a 5 over 9 here, Peter.
Thank you so much, Bill. Yeah, you've got a wonderful signal here into Long Island, about 10 over 9. Any comments that you'd like to make from Oklahoma to what we're doing? We're honoring those on the front lines. Over to you, sir.
Okay, we're just doing the distancing thing here and trying to keep as safe as possible. Going stir crazy like everybody else is, okay?
Roger, Dodger, you bet. You bet. That's the whole key. Keep safe, keep distance, and only do what's necessary until the all-clear sign is given. But I can say this. I'm all for opening up the country, all for that. I think we can be careful, we can be safe, we can keep our distance, but get the economy rolling full-time from one coast to the other. Very much want to do that. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, listening.
Whiskey Delta 9, Lima uniform.
There's a station with Lima uniform. Go ahead.
Roger, KC7, Delta Lima uniform. The name is Joe. I'm here in the town of Lombard in Illinois. Roger.
Roger from Lombard, Illinois. Thank you so very much. Great to hear you, Joe. Really nice signal. No problem at all. Any comments that you'd like to make on what we're doing here during this event? Over to you, sir.
Well, I think that's a very good deal that you're doing, and I want to appreciate all the veterans, as I am, for all their fighting and whatever, and disabilities. I want to thank them very much for carrying on. Thank you very much. KC7 DLU.
Roger, Joe. Thank you so much. Yes. Tomorrow we're going to have the privilege of getting on the air as certainly once again as a special event station. But we're going to celebrate two heroes. We're going to celebrate those in the front lines that are currently doing the job and those that were on the front lines in the military, and they gave the ultimate sacrifice. And it's just such a shame that we can't go to the cemeteries and lay the flags and be there in person. but they'll understand, and we'll be able to get to it again. But certainly, they are heroes of a tremendous magnitude. We would not be here on amateur radio without all those folks fighting for our country. 73s to you, Joe. Thanks a lot for your comments. We really appreciate that. Be well, be safe, and a very safe and very good Memorial Day. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. QRZ, a couple of stations, just want to pick out the calls. This is Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening. Roger, the couple of stations, and we'll certainly get all of you. We look forward to it. Whiskey Delta 9 first, go ahead.
I think that's us. Whiskey Delta 9, India Charlie Lima. Name is Joel, just outside of Chicago. QSL.
I got you, Joel. Thank you. Whiskey Delta 9, India Charlie Lima. Thanks so much, Joel. Nice signal here into Long Island, New York. My name is Peter Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. And, Joel, any comments that you'd like to make on what we've been doing here as a special event station? Over to you, Joel.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Very good signal out here as well. No, I think it's great with everything going on and some of the activities that normally would not take place today. I think this is a great way to commemorate Memorial Day. I also think it's a great way of bringing a lot of these stay-at-home people together on this wonderful Sunday, this wonderful afternoon. So keep up the good work, and again, strong signal out here. It's been a number of years since I've been out in Long Island. I was out there in the 80s. I'm sure it's quite different now. It's probably like a little Manhattan. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you, Joel. Appreciate that. Whiskey Delta 9, India Charlie Lima. Well, as far as Long Island is concerned, yes, certain parts of it. I spent 19 years with my family in Massapequa on the South Shore, and I could see the encroachment, the building, taking down these small bungalows that were, I was on the canal, and these bungalows, Joel, were summer bungalows, and they ended up to go up, higher and higher. So, yeah, it got more and more congested and less idyllic, if you will. Now we're here in Northport, and this area is zoned for 1 acre, and it looks very much the way it looked 60 years ago. So there's certain parts of the island that are still have the correct zoning, and they're protected, and we appreciate that and allowed to have the privilege of doing amateur radio. Thanks so much, Joel. 73s, have a good day, and you're really putting a nice signal on the air. Enjoy, and have a very safe Memorial Day. 73s.
Okay, great. 73s to you, Peter, as well. WDN9CL.
Thank you so much. 73s, thanks for the time, Joel. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, special event station honoring all those heroes fighting COVID-19.
Bravo Tango.
The station with Bravo Tango in the call. Go ahead.
Good morning there, Peter. Probably afternoon for you there. Name here is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf, and I'm in East Central South Dakota. I'm calling with Kilowatt Tango. Peter?
Roger, yep. Unfortunately, QSB got you that time, so try it again. Give me your call once again. Go ahead.
You bet, Peter. It's Kilowatt Bravo 0 Quebec Bravo Tango, and I'm QRP, QSL.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. Kilowatt Bravo 0, Quebec Bravo Tango, QRP. Got to tell me the power you're running. A 5 and 5. 5 and 5 when we don't have QSB. Very well done. Give me your name. I know you're in Mount Vernon, I think, South Dakota. That's fantastic. And give me the power you're running. And I'd like to know the rig and antenna you're using. Over to you, Doug.
You betcha there, Peter, and thanks for the 5.5. I'm running a Zygu 5105, 5 watts. But I'm in the shack, and so I'm running into a Mosley Classic pointed your way. It's Mosley Classic, about 60 feet pointed your way.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yep, that helps a lot, and it's doing some of the heavy lifting. Good job. Very, very good job. Give me the rig again. I'm not familiar with it, Doug. Go ahead.
It's a Zygu 5105, little Chinese rig. If you did a Google search for just X5105, X-ray 5105, you'd pull it up.
Roger, Doug. Yeah, now with that number, I spoke with a fellow a few days ago that has that rig, and he had another phenomenal signal. I think he said the rig only cost about $450, if I have the right rig in mind. Go ahead, Doug.
You bet. How is my audio there, Peter? I've had some problems with some software, etc. with it, and I had problems with the software, with the audio. How is it, Peter?
No, in fact, the audio is perfect. The audio is helping a great deal in your signal readability, Doug. I couldn't think of having better audio with the rig you're using, Doug. Go ahead.
Okay, QSL. Well, a lot of people calling you there, Peter. We'll let you get back at it there, and mainly wanted to check and see how the audio was doing on this Ozaigu. K2H, KB0QBT in Mount Vernon, South Dakota. Back to you, and you have fun. Thanks for activating Heroes.
Roger, our pleasure, really, and our pleasure. And thank you. Every time we make a contact, QRP or 1,000 watts, we're saying thank you, heartfelt thank you to those tireless workers on the front lines fighting COVID-19. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. The name is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo, Long Island, New York. QRZ.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Lima Hotel, uniform.
Roger, I think I got your full call because of the way you pronounced it, letter by letter, slowly, carefully. That means a lot. Those of you folks who are not too active on amateur radio, it's not the power so important that you have. It's the audio certainly is important, but being able to say your call clearly is helping. You're probably saying, who the heck am I talking to? You know who you are. Whiskey Bravo 3, Lima Hotel, uniform. Right now, you get the award for the clearest way you enunciated your call. Thank you, sir. Thanks for making it easy for me. My name again is Peter. Your name, location, and any comments you might have on what we're doing today. Over to you, sir.
Well, Peter, thank you. I guess some of the emergency management training has come into good use at this point, but I am a former sub-sailor, served through 65 through 69, and at this particular time in 1968, we were on station off the Azores looking for our fellow submariners on the Scorpion, who had an unfortunate accident and took about 100 folks to the depths. And so I'll never, ever forget that at all. I mean, it was horrific. So, but you think about that stuff only after, the season, and, at that time I was just a kid. Now I'm 74 and a half, and I think about it a lot. Over.
You're right, Dennis. You think about those moments. By the way, very well done. Thank you for your service. Submarine service is a special place to be. You have to be a specially constructed person mentally and physically to be able to put up with the rigors of certainly submarine duty. I have a good friend here. His name is Dennis also, here on Long Island, and he also was a submariner as well. Fantastic work you've done. And, when an event like that happens, catastrophe of that nature, when you're losing your fellow compatriots, it's especially hard-hitting. And that's why this event, this Kilo 2 Heroes event, is especially poignant, because these nurses, these doctors, the EMTs, they're losing one another as well. And you can just imagine how they feel about that. I think that we in the military perhaps are more accustomed, more developed, more trained to be able to handle that, even though, I was 19 and you certainly, let's see, by your years, I think you were probably about that. I'm born in 47, so we're about the same, I think. And you're young and be able to perhaps handle it a little bit better, but emotionally still, we never forget it, Dennis. Over to you, sir.
Oh, boy, that's for sure. That is for sure. And, of course, I had some buddies that went to Vietnam that never came back, too. So that was a tough time. Yeah, 1946, just barely made it under the clearance there at January 2nd. Over.
Yeah, I was a low draft number, and I was drafted in '64. And I got to tell you something. My dad, a World War II vet, decorated vet, said to me, "Do you want to go to Canada?" Because he just was not in favor of the war. And I said, "No." I said, "I'm going to do what I have to do and take my chances." Unfortunately, the chances I took was, why did I pass my amateur radio tech license in 1964, 4 months before I went in? Well, I was chock full of electronic theory, and I was tested, Dennis, for about 5 hours by the U.S. Army, it was a very interesting time there. They were wondering, where's this kid coming from? Over to you, Dennis.
Boy, no kidding. I wish I had learned a little bit better at the time. However, I was so rattled that I could not pass the protest. So they decided, in their infinite wisdom, to put me in the engine room where I didn't need my hearing.
Well, that's fantastic. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's good. Good stories. Well, Dennis, QSB is getting us a little bit, so I want to make sure I say 783s before I lose you completely. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking me down memory lane, Dennis. I really appreciate that, and thank you for your service. And may your Memorial Day be filled with good memories, those folks that passed away for a very good reason, and allowing us to do what we do today, freedom in America. Thank you, Dennis. 73s to you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. And could I get your complete call? Because I've got Kilo 208, and then I don't know what the second part was.
Yeah, it's kind of different. We never use this wholly except for the New York QSO party. So Kilo 2 Heroes is the official call, but then we have each county of New York, Dennis. I'm Suffolk County, so the appendage is Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. Stroke Sierra, a Uniform Foxtrot. QSL on that, Dennis?
QSL, and thanks, Peter. Appreciate that. You take care of yourself. WB3LH273.
Well, you do the same, Dennis, and a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much. 73s, be well and good health. By the way, folks, those that are on the looking right now on Twitch TV, and it's an extra, I think those amateur operators that are listening, why don't you go on Twitch TV, my call. We have additional information up there as well over my pen adapter. But right now, I'm looking at an individual. This is a very famous contester. It's ON3UN. ON3UN. You contesters, basically, that our contesters know this fellow who's been on DX expeditions all over the world, giving us a lot of rare countries. That's his wife there, and she is sewing masks. She's in Belgium. So we're very proud of what she did in OX3UN as well. ON3UN. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Delta 5, Sierra Drop 5.
Whiskey 4 Juliet Charlie Whiskey.
Juliet Charlie Whiskey. Yes, thanks a lot. Whiskey 4 Juliet Charlie Whiskey. Thank you. Very good morning, 11:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks a lot for making the trip here, thanking us, saying hello, and compliments to your wonderful station. I'm looking at the station, and very well designed. I like that RCA lit symbol up there. Looks fantastic. Give me your name and your exact location and any comments you'd have on what we're doing. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, Peter. Name is John. You got everything correct, and everything you see is what you're listening to. And we're located in a little small town called Camden, South Carolina, about 25 miles northeast of the capital city. So pretty well centrally located here. Our counts are down, so all is well here in our area. Again, I want to say thank you for what you're doing. And by the way, a personal thank you, too, for the information on the AC log and getting the call signs on my pan adapter. It's working beautiful, Peter, so thanks for taking the time to respond to my email as well. Have a wonderful day. Happy Memorial Day to you and yours. Stay well, stay healthy, and we'll sit back and listen. Very inspiring. W4JCW.
Thank you so much. You bet. This has evolved, and thank you for commenting on that, John. These sessions have evolved into something that has been inspiring and has been very special, and I think it's very unique to amateur radio. And we hope we do more of it. There are many, many special event stations. Unfortunately, and not to be critical, everybody has their own style, but clearly to be able to have a QSO-style special event, just saying 5-9 and moving on, well, that's okay for numbers. We're not into getting the numbers, although we've got, John, 15,000 and rising numbers, but that's not what it's about. As far as I'm concerned, when I do this session, for me, I've been doing it every day. I really want people to express themselves, express their fears, express their concerns, express their thanks to others, and take as long as they want. And I'm really grateful for that. And I think that we are doing a service to those people on the front line and to each one another, really, to get through this and get through this in good shape. We want to come out of this very similarly to the way many of us came out of the military. We want to come out the way we went in. And a lot of us didn't come out the way we went in. And there are many, many reasons, but certainly in Vietnam, I can say that that a lot of these folks that came out were not given the proper treatment. We're not giving. They didn't know a lot back then about how to treat PTSD. It wasn't called that, John. So clearly, it's wonderful that now we're taking better care of our veterans. But my goodness, it was a tough, tough time. So we're doing the best we can. John, you've got great signal, great audio. I'm going to guess. It looks like you have a Palstar amp there. And I'm not sure, but it may be a Flex because your audio is phenomenal. It may be the Flex, I don't know, a 6700 but I may be very wrong because I see another radio there that's lit in orange, and it could be an icon. But tell me the rig you're using, and correct me if I'm wrong on all these things. And John, thanks a lot for the second contact, and my pleasure on the email anytime. Over to you, John.
Yeah, real well. No, you're close, but no cigar. I am running the Flex. It's the 6500, and what you see beside the Flex there is the Palstar HF Auto Tuner. The amplifier is over to the left on my QRZ page. You'll see it over there on the rack. It's the Tentec Centurion, the newer one, the blackface, and so it runs a pair of 500Z. So we're running about 12, maybe 1,300 watts into an 80-meter doublet up there, about 60 feet horizontal, feeding it with ladder lines. So that way we make sure all the power's getting to the antenna, and it just works well on every band. But anyway, again, thank you so much for what you're doing, and again, it is inspiring, and your voice is pleasant to listen to, and it just goes along with what you're doing, Peter. Thanks again. 7-3. Good weekend to you.
Oh, thank you, John. Yep. Okay. No cigar. That's quite all right. Yeah, Palstar makes a fantastic preamp. They really do. Rather tuner. Very, very good tuner. And yeah, I see the amp now down in the left corner. Fantastic job. Great audio. Just really very, very easy listening here as well. Hey, 783s to you. Thanks a lot, John. Please grace us to make contact with us again. We'd love it. QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hero stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Delta 5, Sierra Bravo. Whiskey 0, Delta, Mike, Germany.
Roger. Thank you, stations. How about the Kilo Delta 5 Sierra something? Go ahead.
Hey, Roger. Kilo Delta 5, Sierra Bravo, Papa.
Roger. Thank you so much. Kilo Delta 5 Sierra Delta Papa. Thank you so much. Good morning to you. Name here is Peter, Pop Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Your name, sir, your location, and any comments you'd like to have on what we're doing. Over to you, sir.
Hey, Roger. Peter, and West Pacific, Sierra Bravo Papa. Short, bald person. Name is Steve in Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Steve. So it's KD5 Sierra Bravo Papa. Do I have that right? Well, I'm looking at your QRZ page, and yeah, I don't really see that, so that's good. But I want to make sure that I have your name here as well. QRZ page is nice with the rigs that you're running. Thank you, Steve. Any comments on what we're doing today? Over to you.
Hey, I'm just glad to hear it. I'm trying to take down some V8. I switched over the phone for a while. Trying to track down one local Canada station I ain't got yet, but I'll get him eventually. Being retired and disabled now, as a Marine veteran, so I'm happy to still be kicking.
Oh, you're right, Steve. You're kicking just fine, and thank you so much for your service and the proud, the many, the few, the Marines. And tomorrow we'll be celebrating, and certainly the Marines like yourself that are among us, and those that have given all for our freedoms. Thanks a lot, sir. 73s QRZ. This is Kilo 2 Hero stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot.
Alpha Foxtrot 5, X-Ray Bravo.
Well done. Thank you so much. Alpha Foxtrot 5, X-Ray Bravo. A very good morning to you, 11:54. Your name, your location, any comments you have on what we're doing, sir. Over to you.
Good morning. The name here is Roy, Romeo Oscar Yankee, and I'm located in central Mississippi.
I love the RCA sign as well. Thank you. It's
so
cool.
I'm definitely on the front lines. We're providing IV medication for our patients. Thank you so much for this event. It's a very good thing that you're doing.
Roy, thank you so much. IV medication for those patients. That you must be incredibly overwhelmed, but thank you so much for all that you're doing. We're doing this certainly for everyone on the front lines. You are certainly one of our heroes, Roy, and let me salute you. And let me bow to you to say thank you so much, Roy, for your service. Has it been getting a little bit better for you? Go ahead.
It's been definitely busy. The time goes by quickly, so we stay busy and not too much downtime.
Yep, Roy, just like the military folks say. They put their head down, they go through and they do their job admirably and very effectively. Thanks, Roy. Thanks so much for making contact with us and being able to speak live to one of the heroes that are on the front lines. QRZ, this is Kilo 2 Heroes. That's what we're doing, celebrating those. And my suffix is Sierra Uniform Foxtrot. QRZ.
Kilo Alpha 7, India, Germany, Norway.
Oh, big signal. Thank you. About 10 to 12 over 9, sir. Kilo Alpha 7, India, Germany, Norway. Thank you so much. Your name and your location, and any comments you have on what we're doing, sir.
Well, first of all, the name is Bob. We're out here in San Diego, California. And, no, you're doing a magnificent job. Thanks for being there.
Bob, yep, it's a pleasure for being here. It really is. This has been very similar to what Roy has said. Every single day is not a struggle. It's something that I really feel we're benefiting, all of us. We're benefiting one another, and we're benefiting certainly those people that are on the front lines by saying thank you. Like the Jeep there. That Jeep is pretty cool looking. KA7-IGX USA. Beautiful Jeep. Is that original or is that a tribute? Go ahead, Bob.
No, actually, it's original. It's a 79, and I put a T19 tranny in it, so it it goes where it needs to go.
Yeah, it sure does. Is the engine, again, have you also modified the engine as well?
No, that I have not.
Well, okay, so why don't you put an SS454 in there? Wouldn't that be spectacular? I don't know if you could keep the rear wheels on the ground, but you'd fool a bunch of people with a 454, don't you think?
Well, the only problem is it might be a little front heavy then, and I'd just be riding on two wheels.
You're absolutely right. That's right. Those Jeeps are meant to be light and fast over terrain. Thanks a lot, Bob. I really appreciate that. Any final comments that you might have? Hey, great signal, by the way. Great audio. 10 over 9, solid. Thanks a lot, Bob. Over to you for a final.
Okay. No, thanks. We appreciate it. We'll be listening around for the rest of them that are out there. So, KA7IGN, San Diego.
And final comments. What branch of the military did you serve in, Bob?
United States Navy.
Oh, all right, that's a funny vehicle to have for the Navy, but I guess you couldn't put a boat on that piece of land. By the way, beautiful picture with the beautiful landscape behind it. Looks fantastic. Thanks a lot, Bob, and thank you so much for your service. And tomorrow we will be acknowledging all those that served in our country. 73, sir. QRZ, having a good time, I hope. Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot listening.
November, Mike 5, Golf Bravo.
There you go. We're really starting to get some really clear people that are real big winners in the vocal department. Very well said. November, Mike 5, Golf Bravo. Thank you so much. Name, location, any comments you might have on what we're doing. Over to you, sir.
Roger, sir. The name on this end is Jerry, Golf Alpha Romeo Yankee, and we are in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. That explains on your QRZ page that gentleman in the green face. That's very, very cute. Very, very nice. I don't think I've spoken with someone in Roswell, New Mexico. Really, hopefully, it's a quiet place there at night, and you don't get don't get too many visitors. Gary, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, not the green ones anyway. Not recently. Air Force base up north of us has a tendency to send some MC-130s around occasionally that definitely kick up the noise, but it's the sound of freedom.
I was going to say that. You beat me to it. FT-130s, that's a powerful aircraft, and that keeps us safe, and that keeps the peace. It certainly does. It keeps the peace, as Clint Eastwood used to say in some of his movies. We're celebrating, by the way, Clint Eastwood 90th birthday with a lot of wonderful movies on a lot of the movie channels. Thanks a lot, Gary. Any comments that you would have on what we're doing, saying thank you to all those heroes on the front lines? Go ahead, sir.
Roger, sir. Well, I have to qualify on 2 counts. Number 1, I'm retired United States Army, and number 2, I'm currently working a registered nurse.
Wow, that is 2 wonderful services. Again, congratulations and thank you for service in the U.S. Army. Thank goodness everything went well and you could retire with a nice retirement. And an RN, well, I'll tell you, that's what we're doing here. We can't say enough of those on the front lines. And our words, we know, are resonating with them. We're doing a Twitch TV as well, live show, and a lot of folks are being able to share this and see what we're doing and hear what we're doing with all the thank you. So thank you so much, and we really feel that we are doing a service to everyone out there. And to you, again, our hats off to you, Gary, for what you're doing, and hopefully it hasn't been too stressful. I'm sure it has a degree of stress, but being a retired military, you certainly have the shoulders for it, Gary. Go ahead.
Roger, we thank you for that. We definitely do. And 7-3s, and thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for everyone that's out there listening. Military, first responders, frontline workers, et cetera, et cetera. We can't thank you all enough for what you do. 7-3s to everybody, and M5GB.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And M5GB. Thank you so much, Gary. We appreciate that. Thank you for those words. And I hope everyone heard those because those are very, very impactful words. QRZ. My name is Peter, P-E-T-E-R. Peter, I'm at the controls of a special event station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19. Proud to do it thanks to the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club putting this wonderful event together for the month of May. Kilo 2 Heroes stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Kilo Delta 0, Victor November, Quebec. Victor November, Quebec.
Roger, Victor November, Quebec. Thank you for the repeat. Kilo Delta 0, Victor November, Quebec. Thank you. A very good afternoon to you. Eastern Time, 12:02. Your name, location, any comments that you might have on what we're doing. Over to you, sir.
My name is Jerry. I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I am ex-Navy.
Thank you so much. And I understand your name, Jerry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you so much, Jerry. Ex-Navy. Glad you mentioned that, Jerry. Thank you for that. Tell me where you served in Navy. And I know we've contacted each other a number of times. So thanks, Jerry, so very much. Let me know where you served, Jerry. Go ahead.
I was on the East Coast, Virginia.
Roger, East Coast, Virginia. Thank you so much for your service. And tomorrow we'll be honoring all those who served, who gave the ultimate sacrifice. 73s, Jerry. Thanks so much for the contact. Appreciate that. Any final comments at all, Jerry? Over to you, sir, for your final.
No, you're doing a great job. It's good to see somebody cares.
Yep, we do care. All of us care. Every single amateur radio operator, thank you for that. Everyone that's making contact with a special event station is showing how much they care. And you better believe it, as my ex-brother-in-law's mother would say, you better believe it that this information is getting out there to those folks in the front lines. I'm getting information, letters and calls saying, thank you so much. It really means a lot to us because during the stressful day that we're doing, there's very little time for that. It's a shortage. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate what you're doing. QRZ, Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Whiskey 0, November, Tango Alpha.
Roger, nice signal, November Tango Alpha. Whiskey 0, November Tango Alpha. Thanks so much. Your name, your location. Oh, I see your name. Your name is Richard from a previous contact on the 9th of May. Richard, we're still here. We're still kicking. Hope you're doing okay, Richard, and any comments that you might have on what we're doing. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I go by Dick, but that's okay. I answered about anything, and I'm out in Greeley, Colorado, about 60 miles north of Denver. You got a nice signal out here. Do appreciate what you're doing. Running an old Kenwood 830 here to a dipole up in the attic. Go ahead.
There you go, folks. An 830, great rig. Kenwood is a great rig. Audio is fine. Thank you, Dick. I corrected the log. And the last time, I guess I was in a rush and didn't put the full thing in. Yeah, it's too bad that the FCC database doesn't allow to put the name that you've chosen to be on the air with. But nevertheless, we don't want to get them mad by criticizing them, do we? Anyway, they'll pull the plug on me. Anyway, Dick, yep. Thanks a lot from Greeley, Colorado. I do appreciate that. And, folks, he's got a dipole in the attic. If anyone out there says, well, you need a big antenna, you need some elements, you need some aluminum up there, you need a big vertical with a lot of radials in the ground, the answer is no, you don't. No, you don't. And Dick proves it from Greeley, Colorado, almost 1,700 miles from Long Island, New York, and I'm copying him a very solid 5 and 7. So get on the air. That's the most important thing. Put anything you want up there. And by the way, 10 meters has been very alive, been active. A lot of stations all over the world. 10 meters is alive and open. I wish I could be on there, but right now this is my service. Dick, thanks a lot. 73s to you, sir. Good signal. Nice making contact with you. Any final comments, Dick? Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. I'm just kind of cleaning up the shack here a little bit this morning. Then I heard you on. I thought I'd give you a shout. You got a nice signal out here. Have fun, 7-3. This is W0NTA.
Thank you, Dick. Thanks for keeping us company. We really do appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And thanks for spotting me. I see it's K2 Heroes here on my pen adapter, and I do love that a lot. QRZ, K2H, an hour and, wow, almost 2 hours. Time flies. This is Kilo 2 Heroes, stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, QRZ.
November 0, Golf X-ray, Mike.
There's a Golf X-ray among the calls. A Golf X-ray. Go ahead.
November 0, Golf X-ray, Mike. Scott in Colorado. Go ahead.
Roger, thank you. November 0, Golf X-ray, Mike. Make sure I have that right. Is that the correct call? Go ahead.
QSL.
Roger, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. November 0, Golf X-ray, Mike. Thank you, Scott. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for making this event special by amateur operators like you're saying thank you. Any comments you'd like to make on what we're doing as a special event station? Go ahead, sir.
I'd just like to thank you for what you're doing there, Peter. And keep it up. Served in Air Force, Vietnam, 1968-69. Go ahead.
68-69. Pretty hot time, Vietnam. Thank you for your service in the Air Force. Really do appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, sir. 73s. QRZ. Excuse me, I'm sorry. QRZ. Kilo 2 Hero, Stoke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot.
Kilo Delta 0.
Whiskey Bravo 2 Echo Victor Charlie.
Echo, stand by, Hector Victor Charlie. Stand by 1 second. Kilo Delta 9, come on in, please. I think there's a Kilo Delta 9. I must have heard wrong. My apologies. Echo Victor Charlie first.
Whiskey Bravo 2 Echo Victor Charlie, WB2EVC. Name is Barry, Bravo Alpha Romeo Romeo Yankee. Located in a faraway suburb of New York, New Rochelle. Over.
Roger, thank you, Barry. Whiskey Bravo 2 Echo Victor Papa. Do I have that right, Barry?
Negative. It's Echo Victor Charlie.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Echo Victor Charlie. There you go. That's why it didn't come up. Thank you so much. One of the real hot spots back a couple of months ago, Barry. Glad things are getting back to normal there, and certainly have a lot of friends up there. Our neighbor across the river. Like your QRZ page very much, Barry. An experiment that you're doing. Not sure exactly what it is because I'm not looking at it too carefully, but let me know what you're doing over there. I see a nice knob, and it looks like a little a container of something there, and you have your test meter. But that's also what we do as amateur operators. We're expected to advance the hobby. And Barry, looks like you're advancing the hobby. Let me know about that. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you. What I was doing, let's see. When I first got back on the air after a 50-year break in amateur radio, I only had a receiver, didn't have a transmitter. I did have a random wire antenna. So I threw together a couple of QRP junk box rigs, and that's one of them. That's the second one that I built. Ran about a watt or watt and a half on 40 meters, crystal controlled. And I used that for a while until I got an actual real rig. Got an SB102, needed a lot of work, made that work. Then I got a TS140, and now I'm using an IC7300.
Yeah, the IC7300 sounds phenomenal. Always does. Really get a good bang for your buck with great audio. And yeah, I built a couple of QRP rigs with the help of the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club. We have a kit building classes there on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And how many components did that QRP rig use, Barry? Go ahead.
Oh, let's see. There is actually a schematic on my page if you scroll down, but it was 2 transistors, a couple of resistors, and a couple of capacitors, a variable cap, and a homebrew tank coil that I wound on an old film can.
Yeah, there you go. That's fantastic. Very nice work. Anybody interested, go to Barry's website. That's fantastic. Thanks a lot, Barry. Thanks for gracing us by making contact with us and discussing a little amateur radio here this afternoon. 73s to you, Barry. Thanks a lot. Any final comments at all? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the front page of today's New York Times. If you didn't, you're not a subscriber, you don't get it. Take a look online. They published 1,000 names of people who are lost in the coronavirus situation that we have right now. Only 1% of the 100,000. It's a very moving page. This is WB2EVC 73, and thank you.
Yes, I saw that, and they're certainly publishing it on the news outlets. And It really is. It brings certainly poignancy to it, Barry. It puts it right in front of our eyes. And similarly to 9/11, there will be definitely statues. There will be different kinds of monuments put up to these people that lost their lives. Unfortunately, whether or not you want to believe necessarily or unnecessarily, it happened, and it's one of those things that we're going to be better protected for. Thanks a lot for that, Barry. 73s, and have a very good weekend. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot listening.
Norway 6.
Kilo 9, Kilo Mike Victor, portable.
Kilo 9 station, come back in again, please.
Kilo 9, Kilo Mike Victor, stroke portable. Good morning to you. Name here is Mike.
Mike, good signal being portable. 10 over 9 here in Long Island, New York. The name is Peter. Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo. Tell me what you're running there, Mike, and any comments you'd like to make on what we've been discussing, the heroes fighting COVID-19. Over to you, Mike.
Yeah, Roger, thanks. Well, thanks for running the station this morning. I'm running an FT891 portable off of battery power in the park near the Des Plaines River. I'm about 25 miles outside of Chicago. I think I speak for everybody when I say thank you to all the first responders and everybody that's helping out, putting their lives on the line like so many have. Words don't say enough. Back to you there from K9 KMV Portable.
Yeah, Mike, that's a mouthful, and that's heartful as well. And you bet, we can't thank them enough for their service. Their very, very sometimes ultimate service, the way the military has done it in all the wars. So, Mike, good for you to be in the park. Is it very crowded in the park today, Mike? Go ahead.
Everybody's respecting the social distancing. There's probably about 5 or 6 cars parked here. It's still kind of early here, I guess, so the day hasn't really started properly yet, but it will get busy. It's a very, very hot, sunny day here in Chicago, which we've been looking forward to for a long time. Over.
Oh, yes, you have. Certainly have, and that is great. And the message is, and the good news is, there's absolutely nothing wrong. You can get out. You can certainly enjoy yourself, go to a park, go to a beach, take a nice walk. Clearly, as we talked about earlier, that social distancing, if you can maintain a distance of 25 feet, even better, as long as you're wearing the mask when you're in contact or close contact with someone, that's helpful. But there's no reason why you can't get out and socialize. We can't get back to normal as long as we just be careful. Because as I said earlier, it's the general public who is at more risk than those on the front lines, which is something I would have never believed, but we're just not doing as good a job as we can. Mike's doing a good job, and thanks a lot, Mike. Enjoy the day in the park, enjoy the sun, and don't get too burned, and have a good time. And that's what it's about. QRZ, Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. Well, stations, we're reaching a point now where I am at the 2-hour mark. I think there may be another station from Suffolk County that would like to get on the air, perhaps on this frequency. So I want to thank everybody very, very much for spending time with us for the last couple of hours, sharing their stories with us, bearing their souls, really. And also thank you to all the military people I've spoken with. Tomorrow we're going to be certainly talking about that in great detail. So thanks a lot, folks, for celebrating this special event. Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot. We thank you so very, very much. We'll be back again. There are many, many stations, so look on the various clusters, your favorite cluster, to see where other stations from our county. We have 62 counties. We have a lot of them that are recognized, and they're on a lot of different frequencies. They're on a lot of different modes, but listen to them. Thank you so much, everybody. 73s, have a good day. Be safe out there. Be well. And thanks so much for spending your time saying thank you to the heroes fighting COVID-19. This is Kilo 2 Hero, Stroke Sierra, Uniform Foxtrot, going QRT at 12:15 Eastern Daylight Time. 73s.
November 0 Whiskey Delta Mike calling CQ20 and 0 WDS.
You make me strong. You make me strong when I need it. For you, I'm brave. You, I give you all my love. You, I give you all of my love. You, I give you all my love. Always you on my mind.
73s, everyone. Thanks so much for supporting our stream. We really appreciate that. Again, this is Kilo 2 Heroes stroke Sierra Uniform Foxtrot, K2H Special Event Station honoring the heroes fighting COVID-19, saying 73s, have a safe day. Thank you so very much for the time. Bye-bye now.